Sometimes to find out the work done, they may give the indicator diagram of a thermodynamic system. What is this indicator diagram? PV diagram is also called indicator diagram. In indicator diagram, the relation between pressure and volume is inversely proportional to each other. So this is the graph that indicates the relation between volume and pressure. So here this is initial point, this is the final point. So this is P1 V1, this is P2 V2. So in the indicator diagram, the area under PV graph gives work done. Area under PV graph gives work done here. Here, work done may be positive or negative. It only indicated by the curve here. Here, this is the initial volume. This is the final volume. Final volume greater than initial volume. So, volume is increasing. So, delta V is positive. Work done will be positive. So, here we can tell whether this work done is positive or negative by seeing this arrow. Here, arrow indicates that the volume is increasing, at the same time pressure is decreasing. But if you want to take a constant pressure, so we cannot take a constant pressure. Why? Because here pressure P1, here pressure P2, P3, P4, P5, different points, the gas has different pressures. That's why we need to choose a small elemental portion here where pressure is almost constant. Now here let me take one region, somewhere here, this is a region where pressure is almost constant. So when the pressure is almost constant, here volume is changing. So work done is given by, this small work done is given by that pressure at a particular point into this change in volume delta V. So if you want to find out the total work done here, this is the total area under PV curve. So this area will give the work done. So total work done is equal to integration of P delta V. Why? Because this curve can be represented in the form of an equation. So that equation you can write in place of this one, and you can integrate this one with the limits delta 1 and delta 2. So this is the pressure equation, this is the change in volume, and if you substitute the upper and lower limits here, this is the lowest volume, this is the highest volume. Why? Because here pressure is a constant, volume is changing. So you need to substitute only the lower limit and upper limits of the volume. Then you will get the total work done in this process. Now let me explain some graphs here. These are all PV graphs, or we can write them as indicator diagrams. In this, if the graph is shown like this, so what is the meaning of this graph? Here, the initial volume is V1, the final volume is V2, but the pressure remains constant at peak. So what is the work done under this graph? And let me draw the first some graphs here. So these are the different graphs in which how to find the work done. To find out this work done, we know that the area under PV graph gives the work done. In the first case, as it is a straight line, the area under PV graph is a area of one rectangle. So if you know this volume and this volume, this pressure, so this side this is P, this side this is V2 minus V1. Work done is going by P into V2 minus V1. When the pressure is constant, that formula is not required, integration is not required. Directly you can multiply the constant pressure into change in volume. And the most important thing is, here this is V1, this is V2, and the arrow is shown like this. That means volume increasing in this case. Whenever volume increasing, so delta V or change in volume is positive. So work done will be positive in this case. So please remember, work done is positive if volume is increasing. Now, in the second diagram, you can see the pressure is not constant. So, the area under this curve will give the total work done in this case. So, this volume is V1, this volume is V2. So, work done is given by integral of P into dV, or by using some other methods also we can find the area under this curve. Here also main important thing is the volume is increasing, so W is positive here. That means gas is expanding. Here also gas is expanding from V1 to V2. Here also gas is expanding from V1 to V2. So whenever gas expands, work is done by the gas. The gas itself is expanding, so work done will be positive. In the third case, and you can see this one, some students may feel that work done is negative. No, here also work done is positive. Why? Because this volume V1, this volume V2, V2 greater than V1, so delta V is positive, so work done is positive. So this is the work done here, but the difference is here pressure is decreasing, volume is increasing. Here pressure increasing as well as volume is increasing, but we will not consider the pressure, mainly we will consider the volume here. When the volume is increasing, we can say work done is positive. In this fourth diagram, so this is the initial volume and this is the final volume. This is the area under this graph. So in this, volume is changing from V1 to V2 and it is increasing here. So as the volume is increasing, we can say delta V is positive and work done is positive. So next point, here you can see this is a initial point and this is final point because arrow is shown like this. So here we can write this is V1, this is V2. Area under this one, first you can find the area of this triangle and then the area of this rectangle. If you add these two, you will get a total work done. So total work done will be here, volume is decreasing here. So first volume is decreasing, delta V will be negative. So therefore work done in this case is negative now. Next case, here you can see this is called a cyclic process. Whenever a process starts from somewhere, if it returns to the same point after some changes, then it is called cyclic process. So here from A, B, C, D. From A to C, the volume is increasing. From C to D, the volume is decreasing. But the total work done is not equal to 0. First, I need to find out the work done in A to C. Work done from A to C is equal to this region. So I am shading this one. This is the shaded region with the black. Now, what is the work done from C to A? Here in the second part, work done is a negative. Why? Because volume is decreasing here. From C to A, volume is decreasing. So what is the area under this graph? So this is the region in which work done will be negative. Why? Because volume is decreasing, work done is negative. So this is a blue shaded region in blue. This is shaded in black. So what is the total work done? The total work done is given by, the total work done is equal to the positive work minus negative work. So this is nothing but from this entire region, if you remove this one, and you will be left with the area of the circle. So here this is equal to area of that circle, which is given by work done is given by pi into, this is V1, this is V2, this will be V2 minus V1 by 2. Here this is P1, this is P2, and this will be P2 minus P1 by 2. So the total work done is pi r square. But which radius we have to consider? We have to consider both radii, along x-axis, along y-axis, because both are not given in the same units. This is volume meter cube, pressure Newton per meter square. That's why while finding the work done in this case, I need to write W is equal to pi into radius along x-axis, that is V2 minus V1 by 2, radius along y-axis, P2 minus P1 by 2. So this is the expression to find out the work done in this case. Small problem. The latent heat of fusion of water is 2256 joules per gram. In a process, when 1 gram of water converted into 1 gram of steam, find the change in internal energy. To convert 1 gram of water into 1 gram of steam, we need to supply some heat energy. So what is the heat energy required to convert a substance from one state to another state? That is called latent heat. Here latent heat of water is given as this much. That means to convert this 1 gram of water into 1 gram of steam, we need to supply this much of energy in this one. So that is the heat supplied in this system. So I am going to write the heat supplied is equal 2256 joules per gram, or this can also be written as 2256 joules per gram, or 10 power minus 3 kg, because I need this in a SI system. So this will become 2256 into 10 power 3 joule per kg. So this is the dq, heat supplied to the system. As they are asking us to find out du, from first law of thermodynamics we can write dq is equal to du plus dw. This is given value. This we need to find this internal energy. So what is the work done in this case? The work done is given by, as this process takes place at constant pressure only, so we can write P into change in volume, or P into V2 minus V1. What is the pressure? Atmospheric pressure. It is constant. We studied this in a fluids lesson, 1.013 into 10 power 5 pascals. And what is the final volume? Here it is given. It converted into steam, and 1 gram of steam is equal to 1671 centimeters cube volume. So this is a 1671 into centimeter means 10 power minus 2, whole cube will be 10 power minus 6. So this is the volume of the steam minus what is the volume of the 1 gram of water. 1 gram of water is nothing but we know that 1 liter, or you can write as the density of water is equal to mass by volume. Here we can write density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. The meaning of this one is 1 meter cube of water occupies 1000 kgs. So 1 kg occupies 10 power minus 3 meter cube. So this 1 gram is equal to, now this can be written as 10 power minus 3 grams is equal, multiply with 10 power minus 3, you get 10 power minus 6 meter cube. So this is nothing, 10 power minus 3 grams means 1 gram is equal to 10 power minus 6 meter cube. So I can write directly here 10 power minus 6. So to solve the problems, first of all, before learning this formula, you should know how to convert this data into SI system or CJ system into the required systems. Now this will be equal to 1.013 into 10 power 5 into 1671 10 power minus 6 minus 1 into 10 power minus 6. So 1671 minus 1 is 1670 into 10 power minus 6. So this will be 1.013 into 1670 into 10 power minus 1. So 1.013 into 167. So what is its value? 167 into 1.013 is equal to 116. So this will become 169.17. So this is the work done. Now I need du. So from this, what is du? Du is nothing but dq minus dw. If I bring this on this side, dq is equal to, the heat supplied is this much, 2256 into 10 power 3. dw is equal to 169 joules only, 0.17. To find out this dw, this is for kg, but as it is for grams, so we can take only the energy for gram only. So 2256 minus 169.7. So du will be 2256 minus 169. So this is 7, 14, 8. This is 2187, 2087. Yes. So this much joules of heat will be in this internal energy will be increased for 1 gram only. Remember students, this is for joule per kg, but this is for 1 gram only. So I am taking only the joule per gram only, which was given in the previous problem. So this is how I can find this value. Heat denoted by the letter S is the quantity of heat required to increase the temperature of unit mass of a substance by 1 degree centigrade rise in temperature. So here we can write the specific heat S is given by the quantity of heat required for unit mass of substance to increase its temperature by 1 degree centigrade. So here unit mass is, it may be 1 gram or 1 kg. Now if you take this 1 gram first, specific heat is given by delta Q by m into delta theta. If you take this in grams, change in temperature must be taken in degrees Celsius. Suppose if the mass is taken in kgs, change in temperature should be taken as Kelvin. It is found that if you take 1 gram of water, so this is 1 gram of water. For 1 gram of water, let us say temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. Now, if you supply some heat here, let us say temperature increased by 31 degrees Celsius, then the quantity of heat that is required to increase temperature from 30 to 31 is called a specific heat of water. Now, this specific heat of water is measured in different units here. So here it is specific heat is heat by mass into change in temperature. So SI unit is joule per kg per Kelvin. So this is the SI unit of specific heat. But in practical unit is calorie per gram per degree Celsius. We know that 1 calorie is equal 4.18 joules. This is the conversion factor between calorie and joules. Now, even though 1 calorie can also be defined by using the same definition here. So what is this calorie? It is the quantity of heat required to increase the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree centigrade. So, but what is that 1 degree? Is it from 30 to 31? Is it for 91 to 92? Is it for 99 to 100? Is it from 0 to 1? So, it is found that specific heat not only depends upon the material, different materials have different temperature, specific heats. So, it depends on two factors here. One is nature of the material. Second one, the temperature of the body. Whenever temperature changes, specific heat changes. Generally, if you take 1 gram of water at 0 degree centigrade, to increase its temperature to 1 degree, this is temperature difference 1 degree only, but here we need to supply less heat quantity, slightly less than 1 calorie. But from 99 degrees to this 100 degrees centigrade, so here we need to give large quantity of heat. Here large heat is required, specific heat is more than 1 calorie. Here less heat is required. So here it is less than 1 quantity. That's why this 1 degree centigrade may be any difference, but the correct exact definition of calorie is given as quantity of heat required to increase the temperature 1 gram of water by 1 degree centigrade. But what is this 1 degree centigrade? So it is given as 1 gram of water. The exact limits are given here. 1 gram of water from 14.5 degrees Celsius to 15.5 degrees Celsius. In case of gases, so this is for liquid here. So now if you take a gas here, in case of gases, generally we will not measure the mass of the gases, we will consider the moles of the gases. Now for gases, specific heat is denoted with the letter C here. So what is the specific heat of a gas? A solid can be heated directly without taking in a container, but liquids can be heated by taking them in a container, but gases can be heated in two different methods by taking them in container. So gases can be heated in two different methods. One is a constant pressure, second one is a constant volume. So here specific also can be defined in two different. One is a specific heat at constant pressure, the other one is a specific heat at constant volume. So what is this specific heat? Already I told you the definition of specific heat in case of gases is defined in terms of moles but not in terms of masses. So the first one, molar specific heat of gas at constant pressure. Molar specific heat at constant pressure, which is given as Cp here. So how to define this one? The definition is similar to this one. Here I am going to make some changes in the definition. So what is molar specific heat? Molar specific heat at constant pressure. Here I am going to write this as Cp. So the quantity of heat required to increase the temperature of 1 mole of a gas here, instead of 1 unit, this one, temperature of 1 mole of a gas by 1 degree centigrade. By 1 degree centigrade. This is called molar specific heat at constant pressure. Now this can be written as Cp is equal to dq by, in place of mass I need to write number of moles into change in temperature. So what is the SI unit for this one? This is a joule per mole per degree per Kelvin. So this is the SI unit of molar specific heat at constant pressure. So what is the molar specific heat at constant volume now? Here I am going to write this as molar specific heat at constant volume, Cv. Here you can define the same thing, the quantity of heat required to increase the temperature of 1 mole of gas. Here you need to write at constant pressure. Here also the definition is as it is ditto, but at last in place of that at constant pressure I need to write at constant volume. So definition is the quantity of heat required to increase the temperature of 1 mole of a gas by 1 degree centigrade at a constant volume. Then you will get Cv here, specific heat at constant volume. So while writing the definition also, here Cp is equal to dq at P, that is quantity of heat supplied to constant pressure for n moles of gas to increase temperature by delta theta. So what is Cv now? Cv is given by the quantity of heat supplied to a gas at constant volume by number of moles into change in temperature. So this is the definition of this one, Cv. The relation between Cp and Cv is given by Mayer's equation. So I am going to write here, Mayer's equation gives the relation between Cp and Cv. So this equation is Cp minus Cv is equal to R. So important derivation for PUC. So here what I am going to take, I am going to consider 1 mole of an ideal gas. So I am taking 1 mole of an ideal gas. where n is equal to 1. If you take this ideal gas, if you heat this ideal gas here at a constant pressure, if you heat this gas at a constant pressure, now what is the quantity of heat required to increase this by 1 degree, or you can see this formula, how much quantity of heat is required here. So I am going to write dqp is equal n cp d theta. Whenever a gas is heated at constant pressure, the total heat supplied to this one will be utilized to increase the internal energy as well as external work done. So I am going to write this as dq can be written as du plus dw from first law of thermodynamics. Here n is equal to 1, so this will be delta theta. So this will be equation 1. Now if the same gas is heated at constant volume, if the same gas is heated at constant volume, then what is this equation? The quantity of heat added to this gas at constant volume is equal to n cv d theta, where n is equal to 1 mole. So I can write this as dq at v is equal cv d theta as n is equal to 1. But whenever heat is supplied to a system at constant volume, so here let me take the gas in a container, and this is the gas. When it is heated, what happens? The volume of the gas cannot increase because it is inside this closed chamber. The volume cannot be more than the volume of this container. So when the volume is kept constant here, whatever the heat they supplied will increase the internal energy only, because for the external work to be done, either the volume of the gas should be increased or decreased. That already we discussed in the previous class. So here we can write dW is equal to PdV. So as the gas is heated at constant volume, delta V is equal to 0. So work done at constant volume is 0. Now in place of dq we can write du plus dW is equal Cv delta theta. So this is du is unknown quantity, dW is equal to 0 is equal to Cv delta theta. Now in some cases this equation du can be written as Cv delta theta. This is equation 2. So I got two equations. Du plus dW is equal to Cp delta theta. Du itself is Cv delta theta. So in place of du I can write Cv delta theta. So I am going to use this concept, substituting this second equation in the first equation. So by keeping 2 in 1, so we can write du plus dW is equal to Cp delta theta, but du is equal to Cv delta theta. So this is Cv delta theta plus dW is equal to Cv delta theta. So this is du, this is Cp delta theta. So I just replaced this dW with Cv delta theta here. Now you can bring this one that side. dW is equal Cp minus Cv into delta theta. But for any ideal gas, it obeys ideal gas equation which is given by PV is equal nRT. So if you differentiate this one, P into dV, that is a UV formula. First pressure is constant, change in volume, plus volume is constant, change in pressure is equal to N constant, R constant, delta theta. But as the pressure is constant, delta P is 0. So P into delta V is equal to nR delta T, as N is equal to 1. Because I am taking 1 mole of an ideal gas, I can write P delta V is equal to R delta T. Now here I am going to write delta T is the change in temperature, but I wrote here delta theta, both are same. So from this I can write dW is equal to Cp minus Cv into delta theta, but Pw is nothing but dW. So in place of dW I can write P delta V or R delta theta. So R delta theta, here I wrote temperature T, but here I am denoting temperature with theta, no problem, because already I am denoting with temperature here. So this will become Cp minus Cv into delta T, delta cancel. So Cp minus Cv is equal to R. That means if you take any gas, the difference between the specific heat of that gas at constant pressure to the specific heat of gas at constant volume is always equal to R, where R is the universal gas constant. So for any gas in this universe, for any gas, Cp minus Cv is equal to R, where Cp is the specific heat at constant pressure, Cv is the specific heat at constant volume. These values will change, but difference between these two always are for 1 mole of gas, where R is equal to 8.314 joule per mole per Kelvin. Thermodynamic state variables can be divided into two types. One is extensive, other one is intensive. So what are these extensive variables and extensive variables that changes with each part are known as extensive variables, whereas intensive variables that do not change with each part. So what is the meaning of this one? If you consider a system, a gas here, this is a gas, this is a system which is under study. Now, the mass of this gas, if you take this much part of this gas, mass is different. If you take this much, mass changes. If you take this much, here mass is more. Here mass is, if you take only this much part, small part, mass is less. That means with each part, if the variable changes, that is called extensive property. So best example for this one is mass is an extensive property. Similarly, internal energy of this gas, if you take this much, so many molecules here, 3 molecules are there. Let us say internal energy of this system is 30 joules. Whereas if you take this one, here nearly 20 are there. So this is 1, this is 2. U2 is equal to here 20. So this will be 200 joules. That means internal energy also depends upon the part of the system or the particle that are considered here. So internal energy is also one extensive thermodynamic variable. So internal energy. But if you consider this one, the pressure of the gas does not depend upon the each part. Here the pressure of this gas is 1 atm, this part also 1 atm, for this also 1 atm, for a small portion also it is 1 atm. So pressure not changes. But what about the volume? Volume is also a thermodynamic variable which changes with each part. Here volume of the gas is more, here volume of the gas is least in these parts. But whereas the pressure remains same. Similarly, temperature of the gas. So when we are measuring the temperature of the gas, if you insert thermometer here, let us say it is measuring 20 kelvins, and if you insert thermometer here, it will measure 20 only, it will measure 20. For each and every part, temperature is a intensive property, so it never changes with each and every part.